Hello and welcome to Global Agenda. I'm Mokemere. On today's episode of the show, we will be having a chat with the coordinator for the RAAMP program on agriculture, Mone Aernyi, as we explore Sustainable Development Goal 2 on food security.
Basically, RAAMP as it started several years ago in 2004 was the implementation phase of the Nigerian travel and transport policy. The project was designed to ensure all year-round access in the rural areas so that farm produce can go either way, to the markets in the urban areas, or the market can go to the produce in the hinterland. You would agree with me that a vast majority of Nigerians live in the rural areas, and most of them are farmers. Those who live along the riverine areas are fishermen, and after harvesting, they find it very difficult, especially during the rainy seasons, to transport their produce to where people who have the economic power to purchase these things are. So the project generally started as Rural Access and Mobility Project. It was just to give access to those places. But after the first and second phases of implementing that project, several things some improvements were made to the project, and that's why they brought in the agricultural marketing aspect of the project. So that's why it is now called Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project. Now, on this project, we are not just going to create access, we are also going to enhance the marketing aspect of those farmers. We are going to improve their markets. We are going to teach the women and the youth ways of sustaining their little wealth. We want to improve local economies. So the marketing aspect, you can have farmers have this thing, but sometimes these things are not standardized. For instance, the sacks, they have different sizes of sacks, and the people coming to buy would always impress on the rural farmers to heap it and get another material to heap it, but then at the end of the day, you have more than 50 kg or more than 100 kg in a 100 kg bag. You understand? So, but now we are also going to enlighten these rural people that you have to believe in your produce. You have to believe in your product. You have to believe in what you do. Then we are going to make it, we are going to ensure legislation where things will be regulated to favor the rural marketer or the rural farmer. So the project is going to do a lot. We are also going to do gender mainstreaming. We are going to let women participate in our programs. We are going to build their self-esteem. We are going to train them. We are going to show them so many things so that they will not be confined to the other room alone. They will also have a place in the society. Basically, we have the components of this project. We are going to be doing rural upgrading of rural roads and all that. We are also going to be doing the marketing aspects. We are also going to be working on policies, government policies. Like now, we have asked the state governor to help us kickstart the process of starting the State Roads Fund, and an agency that we'll be calling the RARA, that's Rural Access Roads Agency. So this agency is going to be there even after the funding from the international partners. We will have a steady place where funds will be dripping in, as the State Roads Funds, so that can help the Rural Access Roads Agency, RARA, to continue opening up roads, maintaining roads, and giving the rural people fresh air. You understand?
Not to cut you short, but you've just mentioned access roads. I did a case study in Molato community, Ondo State, and some of the issues affecting farming there was the fact of the devalue of their products. The access roads were pretty much very, very bad. They're in a deteriorated state. So most of the time their produce gets spoiled because they're not able to get to the main markets and the city. So they end up selling at whatever
post-harvest losses.
Price. So how will your office adequately tackle that? Can you give us a clear view on that?
Well, it's one of the aspects of RAAMP. Processing food. We are going to, is one of our cardinal points. We are going to have markets, big markets that we call agro-logistic hubs. You know, most of our roads are supposed to have a network around those markets. Like in Benue State, we are going to have 6, 2 for each senatorial zone. You understand? So the roads we are going to construct, we are going to like a cobweb, a network around those markets. And at those markets, we are going to have build storage facilities, stores, shops for those local farmers. We are going to have processing facilities. For instance, where we can turn cassava into gari and akpu and all that. Will teach those local people how to process. Those facilities will be there for their use. They'll be using it to process their own produce and you know, and all that. So we are also going to help them in creating networks of sales. You know that Benue State is the hub of yams in Nigeria, let me say in Africa. But up till now, we've not started exporting our yams because of certain indices.
That actually was going to be my next question. You did mention the fact that you do have some international partners, as much as they are, you know, trying to help the process here. We should be able to also export certain things, given the constraints of insecurity and whatnot. What is RAAMP and RAAMP doing to ensure that food security is on the positive side of the coin? What efforts are RAAMP making to ensure that the insecurity does not affect the project and the people in the rural communities?
Well, security is a global challenge, and I'm sure the government is doing their part to help us with that problem. RAAMP as a project may not be able to do much, but we can advocate at those levels, governmental levels, non-governmental levels. We can do the advocacy, and we can hope for the best.
You've given me details as to how you're going to break the bias when it comes to the empowerment of women in this field. How do you hope to bring the youth on board actively? I need to understand your strategy. What are you going to do? And do you have, do you premeditate, or have you made plans for persons living with disabilities to also be beneficiaries of these programs? Because part of it is meant to increase the labor force, the labor market, and the output to the economy in general as the food basket of the nation. So how do you ensure that all these vulnerable groups are also beneficiaries and no one is left behind?
We have, of course, given our award to the Association of People Living with Challenges, Physical Challenges in Benue State. They've been here on several occasions, and we are working with them. We're working out modalities to involve them in this project. You see, if you help such people, you are empowering the society. You will see less beggars, and then you give hope to others.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to Global Agenda. Join me next week to catch more of your favorite sustainable development goals. I'm Mone Aernyi. Bye-bye.